We see headlines all the time, but how often do we actually stop and think about the story they're telling us before we even read the article? So today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to deconstruct one single headline to see how the choice of words shapes how we see the world. Because let's be real, sometimes the real story isn't just what the news says, it's how they say it.
Okay, look at this. A full-blown crisis. Americans brace for a surge in healthcare costs. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. It's a really powerful statement, right? And trust me, every single word in there was chosen for a reason, for maximum impact. So let's break it down.
For the next few minutes, we're going to be linguistic detectives. Our mission here is to figure out the mechanics of how a news story like this is framed, and maybe more importantly, how it's engineered to make you feel something specific.
All right, first things first. Let's start with that opening phrase, the part that's designed to just grab you right away.
So right out of the gate, it hits you with a full-blown crisis. It doesn't, gently ease you in with some context. It just immediately sets off all the alarm bells. This isn't a problem, it's not a challenge. No, they're telling us it's a crisis.
Now, a crisis by itself is already a big deal, a time of intense difficulty, trouble, or danger. But they go one step further. They add the words full-blown. And that's key. It removes any doubt whatsoever. The language is telling us, hey, this isn't coming, it's already here, it's fully formed, and it's bad.
Okay, so the headline screams crisis. But how do they make that crisis feel like our problem? How do they connect it to you and me?
They do it with these two little words, Americans brace. This phrase is doing a couple of really critical things. First off, by saying Americans, it's not some far-off issue anymore. It's personal, it's national, it's about all of us. And then there's that verb, brace. Such a specific choice.
So let's really think about that for a second. What does it actually mean when an entire country has to brace for something?
That word, bracing, it's loaded, It's not an active word, it's a passive word. It means you see something awful coming, and there's pretty much nothing you can do to stop it. You're getting ready for an impact you know is coming. You're tensing up, getting into a defensive position. It creates this sense that we're all in this together, and we're all vulnerable. And maybe the biggest thing, it tells you that you have absolutely no control. All you can do is wait for it to hit.
Okay, so we've got a full-blown crisis. We have an entire nation bracing for it. But bracing for what exactly? Well, the last part of the headline spells it out.
A surge in healthcare costs. And yeah, you guessed it, just like crisis and brace, that word surge was not picked by accident.
Think about it. They could have said costs rise or costs increase, and that would have been accurate, sure. But it sounds manageable, right? Kind of gradual. But surge? That paints a totally different picture. It makes you think of a tidal wave, right? Some sudden, massive, uncontrollable force. It's not a slow climb. It's a wall of water coming right at you. It's designed to make you feel completely overwhelmed.
All right, let's put all these pieces back together now. Let's look at the big picture and see what this framing is really doing when you combine all these elements.
See, this headline isn't just a random string of words. It's a little story, a carefully built emotional roller coaster designed to take you on a specific ride. It starts with alarm, bam, crisis. That gets your attention. Then comes identification. They bring in Americans to make you think, hey, that's me. Then the anticipation builds with the word brace. You feel that tension rising. And finally, boom, the impact. They hit you with the surge. It's like a whole movie plot packed into just 10 words.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that the story here isn't just about healthcare costs going up. It's a story about how we're being told to feel about them. They're setting you up to feel scared and powerless before you even get to the first paragraph of the actual article. And learning to spot that's a super important skill for making sense of the news today. So, I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you can see how this thing was built, piece by powerful piece, what does this headline really tell you? And I don't just mean about healthcare costs. I mean, what does it tell you about how information is packaged and presented to you every single day?